And in the future, we don't need horses. We have motorized carriages called automobiles. That's from the third movie of Back to the Future, and here's the third rendition by MJ, DMC 12-4. So there's 4 different models by this MJ brand, but I don't think it's licensed. There's no approval on it, it looks like. Now, I got this off AliExpress, and it came, as you can see, brand new, and that nameplate is not where it's supposed to be. It does have this mirror, which is, I like it, because you can, if you were to buy this retail, you can look at the other side of the model and see if there are any problems. So, although there's no branding on that thing, you know, it's nice for consumers to have a mirror. So I wish a lot of other brands would start moving to this. I think they could still put their brand name up in the corner or something like this, but it would allow people to inspect the model better, having these mirrored backs. So you get the idea there. Not taped together here. So I'm a little curious. Let's take a look at this. Not much glue holding that thing down, but it is shiny. That is a very shiny piece of metal. And then we have DMC 12 and Roman numeral 3 for the third movie. There's around 1,000 of these out there. I got 432. I think I'm going to try this glue here, this Gorilla Clear glue of sorts. I'm not going to put too much down because I don't want it to push out past the edges, but Gorilla Glue is a good brand, it seems. Let's get a little bit out there. Come on. That should hopefully keep it from rattling around. And guess not good enough for me. Oh boy, I have to let that dry. Sorry, I lost focus. So here, I believe, are images from the movie itself. I could be mistaken, but I haven't seen this movie in years, so I'm just gonna guess what's going on here. The train is pushing it, and then it's about to warp into some other dimension. And I think maybe at the end it was rolling, coming from somewhere, and then it maybe got destroyed by a modern train when it showed up in the future. But then Doc Brown came back or something with a time machine train. I think that's how it went, but again, I don't remember. But let's just get into the model then. So I'm not going to dwell too much on the other bits that I've reviewed now twice in the other reviews, the movie 1 car and the movie 2 cars. So that's all looks the same as the other ones, and the glaring problem with them is these should be black or like a dark color, but they're silver on this model. It's such a weird oversight. They have printing of like rivets and stuff on there, but the thing should be black. It's really strange. So the one thing I am noticing that is different is this thing on the hood. You know, you got these leather straps simulated. It's just plastic painted that way though, but they did paint their little buckles there, so that's a good amount of effort, I think. And then I'm just going to guess what these gizmos are. These little greeblies, like I don't know, capacitors maybe, some sort of pumps perhaps, but there's this nice floating hose, but it does seem rigid, so you don't want to push on that too much. Yeah, maybe tube, you know, like the tube amplifier, what are those things? I don't know what those tubes are on old stereos, but leave a comment if you know, educate us please. Okay, that all looks the same, that all looks the same. There should be a metal grill down here, if I recall. Yeah, there is a photo etched metal piece, and that's all photo etched there. But yeah, in the back we have the same stuff as the other cars, that barcode license plate. Good detail all around, although, wait a second, what's up with these things? These things aren't even horizontal. Well, they broke the glue, so I'm going to have to glue that back later as well. I did have one where this thing wasn't tight, so I took some crazy glue and crazy glued it back, and now it's fine. So really it's just the wheels now, after the front hood, that seem to make this different. So we have old train kind of wheels. We have some sort of lug nuts and stuff. It's a very glossy color. I kind of wish they should have painted these wheels matte. I mean, you're not going to have glossy train wheels, especially back in the 1800s. But even I mean, so this is a brand new train, but I don't think Doc Brown would have sourced brand new wheels for his time machine back then, right? So these would have been nicer if they were matte finish, but they do look like train wheels. I can't really say if they look like the ones on in the movie car because I couldn't find a side image of it. And then there's no disc brake system. I don't even sure if a real DeLorean had disc brakes. Maybe in the front, but maybe it had drums in the rear. But leave a comment if you're a DeLorean aficionado. Alright, so now the train tracks, they are the same color. And then you can see they're like press fit through the base. You know, I wonder if they're metal. I think they're actually metal. Because if they were plastic, they probably would have melted these ends to get trapped by the white base. But instead, what I think is maybe there's some glue under those rails, and they're just, you know, or maybe these are just 3 friction fits. It's possible if these are metal, maybe they just punched these things right through the plastic, and that's causing the friction to keep them in place. So that's quite interesting. I would have, you know, I basically didn't expect them to be metal, but I guess if the car itself is also metal, why not? I do wonder if maybe even the wheels are metal. Can't say for sure. Alright, well, it looks like the train car, and yeah, apparently that Gorilla Glue did not dry properly. I think you have to give it some time to let it dry, but I'll do it after this. So since I snapped that, broke it loose, I decided to try to take it off, but I'm thinking that's not a good idea. I wiggled it, right, and it came off. But you see, this hose is actually glued to it, so unless you want to glue that hose back on, but I don't know. I guess I can. So if you do remove this, you can paint them quite easily and not mess up the rest of the model, you know, if you separate the pieces. Let's see if I can break off the other one. I gotta hold the car down. I want to break the car off from the whole thing, so just be careful about tearing that tube. Alright, maybe if I get some tweezers, hold on here. Let's see if I can pull that tube out of this plastic piece without destroying it. I'm gonna twist it a little bit. I don't know if it's like melted in there, you know, on the other side. It's possible. Maybe I try pushing it out from the back side. Oh, but I'm afraid if I do that, I might never get it back in there. So that's a tired call. I don't know. Let me figure this out. So I decided to just use some black paint wash. This is some Chinese brand, but I guess Tamiya would work just as well. And I'm just layering up the paint wash after it dries, and eventually it'll all be black. But I also theorized maybe some of the scenes from the movie, it looked like metal with, you know, the black paint brushed off. So that's why I'm using the paint wash, because it can show a little bit of the silver underneath, which is representing the metal that these things would have been made out of. So that's basically what I did to all of them now. Let me just put this on this mega coaster here. See that image there? This is from the ending of one of the movies. It's not all black, right? I'm pretty sure in real life they took some sheet metal and then painted it black. Maybe that's all CGI, I don't know. But it looks like, you know, metal. Exposed aluminum or possibly steel. And so I think it works well to have maybe some of the aluminum of this model show through. Well, those are the 4 cars that I have from MJ, and we'll have to see if another brand comes out with one of these with a better hook. I think I saw pictures of it. I don't know if it's an MJ model or some other company. I do wonder if like someone's going to come and make a resin brand of this, a resin version of this, but that would be really hard to do because it'd be really hard to simulate the brushed metal look on a plastic body, right? So I'm guessing not. If that's the case, then these are the nicest looking DeLoreans from this trio of movies. And you might want to hop on these, because if these guys are right, there's only 1,000 of each, but I wouldn't worry too much. If you find this video in 5 years, they're probably for sale still, just not under this brand. It'll be under some other brand. That seems to be the way it goes, you know, with unlicensed stuff. They don't care about laws and stuff like that, you know. It's kind of unlicensed. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Yeah, great set of movies. I grew up watching them. I'm surprised they didn't try to make another one. Or maybe they are. I don't know. But we'll see you in the next Back to the Future video. Bye.